Hey guys, Shy Cubs fan 14 here, bringing you a little gameplay from Black Ops 2. We're in the Turbine map. I'm using an MTAR with a red dot and a silencer. Got to be honest with you, the Turbine map is not my favorite map. I find that I often get killed more than what I kill. But in this gameplay, I had a little bit of luck. I kind of stayed on the right side of the map. If you're looking this way, I stayed in the little area where the turbine base is at, the little shed, and these little rock areas. I stayed in here. I did a little camping, did a little patrolling. Had a pretty good game, I think. But I'm still kind of out on Black Ops 2. Some days I love it, some days I hate it. Last night I played. It seems like I couldn't kill anybody. It seemed like every time I went around a corner, I got shot, or if I got in a gunfight, I would lose the gunfight, even if I had cover or whatever. So sometimes I get frustrated. I find the shotguns very maddening. Last night I was using an MP7, point blank on a guy. I think I shot him twice. I got hit markers, and the next thing you know, he pulls a trigger and I'm dead. So I think the shotguns are a little overpowered. I still like the graphics. I still like some of the things that Treyarch did with this game, but overall, some days I love it, some days I hate it. So I'll continue to play it. We'll see what's going on. I think currently I'm third level prestige at number 12 or number 25. I'm somewhere in there. I'm currently working on prestige and my guns up so that I can put my clan tag and my emblem on there. So hopefully I'll get that done. I can get my emblem on my gun. You guys can see what I've done in the emblem maker, and I'll throw that up on one of my upcoming videos. With the holidays coming, we've been busy putting up decorations on the house and that type of stuff. So I've tried to stay a little bit current on what's going on. But as you guys know, I always like to talk about a current event. And I was looking through the Huffington Post yesterday, and I found this interesting article about death row. And in Columbus, Ohio, where Ohio has its death row, there's a gentleman named Ronald Post who is currently sitting on death row. The problem is that Mr. Post weighs about 450 pounds. And what they're trying to say is that he's so fat, so obese, that his executioners won't be able to find any veins in his arms or his legs for the lethal injection. And there's a possibility that he could even break the death chamber gurney. But if the state is forced to use a backup plan, that would involve them injecting the drugs directly into his muscles. And that process could require multiple doses over several hours or even days and result in a very painful death. So his lawyers are trying to argue for a stay of his execution because of his weight. Post has been on death row since 1983, and he's gained almost 200 pounds in those 30 years that he's been on death row. He went to death row for the 1983 murder of a motel clerk during a robbery. And what his lawyers are arguing is that by putting him to death, if they can't find the vein, which would be the second method, would be cruel and unusual punishment and would violate the Constitution. Post, who's currently 53, it's being argued by the state that he can be humanely executed under both methods, and that the warden of the prison even went so far as to put about 540 pounds worth of weights on the death chamber gurney to make sure that it wouldn't break. What the Attorney General for the state of Ohio is arguing is that he has not presented sufficient evidence demonstrating that his obesity or other physical condition will present a substantial risk that his execution cannot be conducted in a humane and dignified manner. But of course, with our system, everything's going to have to go through the federal level, so a federal judge is going to hear it later on this month. But what's really going to blow your mind is that Mr. Post's case is not without precedent. In 1994, a federal judge in Washington state ruled that a convicted killer, his name was Mitchell Roop, who weighed more than 400 pounds at the time of his execution, that judge ruled that he was too heavy to be hanged in the state of Washington because there was a likely possibility that he would be decapitated. So after numerous court rulings and a third trial, Roop was sentenced to life imprisonment. He stayed off his death execution, and he was sentenced to life in prison, where he eventually died in 2006. But what a professor at Fordham University is arguing is that if Post manages to stop his execution because of his weight, the legal precedent may not be far-reaching because of the very small number of death row inmates who are that obese. And that professor said that it's unlikely prisoners will begin stuffing themselves to try to fend off execution. The director of the Washington-based Death Penalty Information Center, which opposes capital punishment, predicts that states will find a way around obesity claims by adjusting their execution procedures, perhaps by changing the drugs or the dosage. He went on to say that inmates probably will recognize that it's a very thin straw to hang their hopes on. In 2007, it took Ohio executioners about 2 hours to insert IVs into the veins of a condemned killer. His name was Christopher Newton, and he weighed about 265 pounds. Post, who stands about 6'2½", weighed about 260 pounds when he was moved to death row in 1985. His weight has gone up and his weight has gone down behind bars. At one time, he lost about 150 pounds through rigorous dieting. But he's got severe knee and back problems, and it's made it very difficult for him to exercise, so he's having trouble maintaining his weight. Mr. Post also had the audacity to request a gastric bypass surgery, but that was denied. And he's been told not to walk because if he falls down, he will injure himself. And apparently he has severe depression over his impending execution, and that has contributed to his inability to control how much he eats. The Ohio prison system wouldn't comment on how Post gained the weight. They say that their meals are reasonable portions, seconds aren't allowed. They're allow the prisoners healthier options such as low-fat milk, vegetarian patties, and mixed vegetables. They did comment, though, that inmates can buy sweets and salty snacks from the commissary if they have money on their books. A doctor who examined Post for the defense said that he's so obese that accessible veins in his arms, legs, and hands do not exist. So given his unique physical and medical condition, there is a substantial risk that any attempt to execute him will result in serious physical and psychological pain, as well as an execution involving a torturous and lingering death. So it's interesting to see. His lawyers are also trying to fight an attempt by the state to employ a third method of execution, which is not the regular lethal injection or into the muscles. It's called a cut-down method, and what that involves is where the executioner actually cuts into the condemned man's arms and legs to find a vein. Ohio's execution policy does not call for such an approach at this time, and it's unclear if the state will go ahead and do that. But I found the story really interesting. The guy's been on death row for 30 years. He's gained all this weight, and now he's trying to hang on to life, saying that it would be cruel and unusual punishment when he took somebody else's life. Obviously, there were comments with this story. People are saying, you know, take him out in the courtyard and shoot him, do a Gary Gilmore on him, you know, put a hood on him, put a little heart on his chest, or other ways of executing him. But I'm interested in what you guys think. Do you guys believe eye for an eye? Do you believe that the death penalty is reasonable and is just? I'd love for you guys to leave me some comments below and let me know what's going on. I know this was a rather long commentary, but I wanted to weigh in on it. I found this story just really appealing. I'm too fat to kill. You can't kill me because I'm too fat. So let me know what you think. I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten. My subs are up to about 105 or 106. I can't believe how much you guys have been supporting me. I really appreciate it. I have a video planned for an unboxing. I've got a new scuff coming. I've also got a Wii U that we bought for the kids, so we're going to do an unboxing and put that up on pretty soon. And then I also have a video taped of my man cave. I just have to do some commentary. So once again, I want to thank all of you. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy playing the game. You guys all know I'm an old fart, but I really enjoy playing COD. Hopefully for Christmas, I can get Hitman Absolution. I have Assassin's Creed, but I haven't broken it out yet. So I'm kind of just playing around with Blk Ops right now and trying to get a feel for it. But if anybody has any suggestions for the videos, please leave them in the comments below. If you like it enough to subscribe, that would be great. I appreciate your time. You guys have a great day, and hopefully I'll be putting up some more videos soon. And here comes the end.